I felt like there was a void in the world of entertainment, especially with DJs and people looking to book DJs, because I saw that there was very, very talented DJs out there that just weren't getting the right opportunities to showcase their talent, whether it be at special events or clubs. I thought they were of the caliber to do a lot of the higher level stuff, but weren't really making that connection to get there. And that ended up working with a lot of clients that would come to me to do events, and I wouldn't be available, so they'd be asking me, well, hey, do you know any good DJs, anybody that would be good for my event? And obviously I did. You know, I've been in the market long enough, in the business long enough to know the DJs, guys and girls that are not only talented, but are professional, that are punctual, and do all the things that deliver a great experience, you know, for a client. And that's when it kind of bubbled to me and said, hey, you know what? Maybe we should put some time, effort, and resources behind making this business and a real resource, not only for DJs but for the clients, in making that connection and you know, putting the right people together to do business. It was definitely not one of the easier things that I've ever done. There's so many moving parts. I mean, to any business, you know, but for this one, it was especially kind of challenging because there was so much to do and to get organized on the side of the talent and the DJs, and so much to do to be able to get to the point where we're able to and ready to display this talent to potential clients, you know. But I would say at the end of the day, it really was that challenge, you know. It really was a challenge. I mean, not only did I, you know, look forward and just the euphoria that came over me, the fact that we would be helping set up careers for individuals, you know. I mean, today I look at some of the talent that we have on the roster, and you know, one of the young men was working at I won't say the name of the restaurant, but he was bussing tables at a restaurant, you know. Now he has a wonderful home, and he has the car that he wants, and all he does is DJ. You know, that's all he does. You know, we were able to see the talent in him and cultivate that talent and get him to a point where, you know, he has that career. You know, another young man who's having a hard time, you know, working at a department store. You know, now he's a full-time DJ. You know, and those stories go on and on and on. And those are the kind of stories that kind of envision, you know, becoming a reality. And that was a huge inspiration, you know, as well. You know, seeing people that had a talent and that had 100%, but just didn't know how to do it. Boom! Here's your vehicle. You know, here's how to do it. We're gonna help you do it. You know. But at the end of the day, just like, you know, when I signed out to do the Heat, a lot of people didn't realize that it wasn't something that was just all, you know, glory or whatever. I didn't want to do it. You know. What eventually led me to do it was the fact that it was a challenge. It had never been done before. You know, there was no archetype, there was no mold to follow. It was like, hey, you either make it happen or you be the reason why it fails. So, and I don't like failure. It's not so fun. So we decided to you know, stick to it and really make it happen. I would say 10 seasons later, it's like clockwork, you know. Every game, I treat games like my events. Even though I do know a little more what to expect, because with the games, obviously it is the same product every time, meaning the product is a basketball game, you know. The byproduct is the entertainment, and I never lose focus of that. You know, people get dressed, put on their jerseys and all that kind of stuff to go and see a basketball game. But when the game is not in play, whether it's timeout or whatever, they still want to be entertained. You know, people come out to see a game, you know, and whether it's a timeout or halftime or whatever break it is, that's when people like myself and the dancers and Bernie and the other elements of the entertainment team kick in, you know. So in that sense of it, it is a little bit more predictable because it's the same offering in the basketball game, and also with the people that are coming. The largest part of the audience are season ticket holders, and season ticket holders don't change throughout the season, But at the same point in time, I do approach it the same way, meaning I don't walk into a game and say, okay, I'm going to play this song, and this song. Just like if I walk into a club, I don't know that I'm going to, play this song, this song, because I don't know what the vibe of the room is, And that's the thing that is unique about games. It may be the same offering, and it may be a lot of the same people, but it's not always the same vibe, If you walk into that arena when we're playing, say, the Lakers, you can experience a whole different vibe than walking into that room and playing a team that may not be so high profile, So with that, I do have to make sure that I match the vibe, every single time I walk into that arena, So my preparation is more of a mental one, rather than a physical, checklist of 1, 2, 3, 4, because I do go in there and deliver entertainment night in, night out, but mentally I do want to make sure I'm on that same vibe, that I can actually get those fans stimulated and delivering that energy in a way that it's going to connect with those fans, So. I would say this: the fact that I've been traveling to Europe for as long as I have, I'm kind of at an advantage because my travels started at a time where the whole digital scene was not as prolific. Meaning, when I started traveling to Europe, I was still traveling with 8 crates of records, right? 8 crates of records, and and playing on my turntables and all that kind of stuff. I just traveled to Europe the other day, and I went with a backpack, And with that backpack, I had my laptop with my music library on there. Still use turntables for a analog interface, but all my music is on a laptop. The significance of that is this: when I first started going to Europe, I had such a big advantage because living in America and being in the business that I'm in gave me access to a lot of the artists, a lot of the producers, a lot of the engineers. So sometimes I would literally get a song, straight out of the studio. So if Swiss Beats made a new record with DMX, he would call me up and be like, "Yo, I made a monster. I'm dropping it in the mail today." And he would, put a CD in the mail and overnight it to me, and I'd have it the next day. And meanwhile, everyone else is waiting for the official release. So what happens is the record has to go to the record company, get approved, and get mastered. Then it goes to the plant, and then do all the art for it. And guess what? You have a good 2-3 weeks before it's being serviced out to DJs, right? Well, think of this as an advantage. Even with that 3 weeks, if you're a DJ in Europe and it's the hot new US record, you're probably not going to get that record for at least a month. At least, right? If not longer. So when I would go to Europe and I was playing the new Jay-Z and Beyonce and playing, the new whoever record, the new DMX, whatever it was mind-blowing to them because they're like, oh my gosh, not only have we not heard this, we're not going to hear it again for another 3 months. So it was really such an experience, Now, fast forward to today. That gap has all but almost diminished, to be honest with you, because even the delivery of music is digital. Because now when Swiss Beats has that record and he says, "Hey man, that's made the hottest record ever, I gotta get it to you," he hits send, in his email, and I have it, and he can also hit send to anybody else in the world, and they'll have the record, or if I have it and I share it with someone else, or you name it. So now, once a record goes out and leaves the studio, whatever, the world has access to it, So now that whole, month, 2-month gap has diminished, and the DJs there, because they have been exposed to people like myself and tons of other US DJs, the musical influence is there, and they're jumping on these records right away. So it's commonplace for me to go over there and hear a DJ, play similar to like someone out here in Miami, in terms of the style of music. Now, what sets DJs apart nowadays really is your art form, is your craft, is your delivery. You may give me 10 records, you may give another DJ 10 records, but we're gonna play them differently. We're gonna manipulate them differently. and we're gonna make a show out of these records differently, and that's what gives you an edge, nowadays. So I would say just quote unquote the music. There's not that big of a difference in the music nowadays. The difference is in the performance, because everyone has access to the music. Technology, so you gotta adapt or be left behind.